Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get started. Today, it is August 26th, 2022. It's on Friday. It's a little cloudy, but it's sunny outside. Right now, I'm out of employment. I'm out of work. I hope I can pick up a job at the ministry. I'm going to apply for. I hope I can get a job and at the ministry. I'm looking forward to apply. I'm looking forward to working there. I've already applied for the job. Are you also out of employment? Out of work? I'm out of employment. 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 I'm out of work. Out of employment. Out of work. Out of employment. Out of work. The company is going to employ a total of 200 new employees next year. The company employed 0 new employees last year. I used to be employed in the company. I used to be employed at the company. I used to be employed at the company. I will be obliged to employ such a brutal way to achieve the goal. I will apply peaceful way of dealing with a problem. We should employ peaceful way of solving the problems. We should employ and adopt peaceful way of solving the problems. The company is going to employ 200 new employees this year. I used to be employed at the company. I tried hard, so as not to be fired. I tried so hard, I worked so hard in order that I wouldn't be fired. I tried to do my best. I tried my best. I worked so hard so that I wouldn't be laid off. I try to employ logical way of solving problems. I try to employ a logical way of solving problems. Logical way of solving problems. I try to employ a logical way of solving problems. I employed hard schedule to achieve my goal. I employed hard daily schedule to achieve my goals. How many employees are there in the company? How many employees are there in the company? I think there are more than 8,000 employees in the company. The controversy between employees and employer sometimes happen. The controversy between employees and employer sometimes arouse. I used to be one of the employees in the company. The employer of the company is known where in the region. The employer of the company is well known in the region. The employer of the company is well known in the region. I'd like to pursue my status as a bureaucrat. I want to create my status as a bureaucrat and work at a ministry. He ditched his status as general manager in a company and he became a farmer. He ditched his status as general manager of the big company and turned a farmer. He ditched his status as the executive member of the company and turned a restaurant owner after that. I don't want to lose my status as a member of directors. He ditched his status as a member of directors. Could you tell us the status in the region? The correspondent informed us of the situation, the status in the region, the disaster-stricken area. The correspondent there informed us of the status of how it was going on in the region. The correspondent informed us of the status of how it was going on there. The correspondent told us the status that Every food and drink are needed. Any help is needed. The correspondent told us the status that every help is needed. Every help is needed. I don't want to lose status. Everyone doesn't want to lose status. Many salaried workers are afraid of losing their status. Many salaried workers are afraid of losing their status as salaried workers. Many people are afraid of losing their status as salaried worker. Could you tell us the status there? Could you tell us the situation, the status condition there? Could you tell us the status? Could you tell us the status in the region? The status here is very serious. I don't recommend you come here. The status here is very serious, and I can hardly walk and approach the region because of the disaster, because of the natural disaster. Due to the natural disaster, such as torrential rain, sand sliding, the status here is very serious. The workers are trying too hard to bring the status back to normal. I don't want to lose my status as a bureaucrat. I don't want to lose my status as a manager of the shop. The status after the earthquake was serious. Everything was stopped. The status after the big earthquake was serious. Everything stopped at the moment. Have you ever been to Universal Studios Japan? Have you ever been to Universal Studios Japan? Universal Studios Japan is located in Osaka. 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 The concept of this restaurant is universal. The concept of this restaurant is universal. The restaurant tries to aim at creating the restaurant which is accepted by everyone, and every people can utilize it easily without any problems. The concept of the restaurant is universal. Do you have a universal cable? Universal cable, which can be used to any outlet. Do you think universal currency is needed in the world? Do you think universal currency is needed in the world? Do you think universal currency which can be used in the world in common needed? Do you think the universal currency which can be used in common in the world needed? Do you think the universal currency which can be used in common in the world is needed? Do you think the universal currency which can be used in common in the world is needed? Taking the examination is universal and applied to everyone, whether you are excellent or not. Taking the examination applies to everyone, every student, whether you are excellent or not. What do you think of universal basic income? What do you think of universal basic income? Is it applied? Do you think universal rule is needed in the world? Do you think universal rules which are adopted in common in the world are needed? Do you think that universal rules which are used, which are adopted, employed in common in the world are needed? Do you think that universal rules or treaties which are adopted in common in the world are needed? Breathing every day is universal. Breathing every day is universal. The concept of the amusement park is universal. The concept of the amusement park is universal. So there are many hospitalities to make the customers fan, to make the customers satisfied with. The concept of the amusement park is universal, so there are many strategies to make the customers satisfied. With. Universality can be very difficult. Universality of the facility can be very difficult. The station aims at the universality so that everyone can use it without any problems. Universality, 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 universality. Universality, universality. Universality, 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 universality. What is the definition of universality? The internet is becoming universality. The internet is becoming universality. The universality of the internet has changed the world. The universality of using the internet has changed the world drastically, especially to the business and how we communicate each other. The universality of the internet has changed the world drastically, thoroughly. Universality, 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 universality. Meeting the universality expectations might be difficult. Universal expectations. The restaurant aims at universality. 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 Universality. Using the internet is a kind of universality now. The universality of using internet has changed the world drastically. The universality of using internet has changed the world drastically. The universality of the internet has changed the world drastically. Everyone knows that the universality of the sun going around the sun. The shining sun is universality. The sun shining to us is universality. The sun going around the sun is universality. The sun shining us every day is universality. The fresh air is universality. The fresh air and the sun shining us every day is universality. What do you think of the universalization of currency? Universalization of the language. Universalization of the currency. Universalization of the wealth. Universalization of the wealth. Universalization of the internet. Universalization of the opportunity. Universalization of the opportunities. Universalization of the thoughts, thoughts, universalization of the thoughts. Universalization of the currency. The universalization of the international currencies into one. The universalization of the internet. The universalization of getting the pension. The universalization of getting the pension. Universalization. 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 The restaurant aims at universalization of all of the facilities. Universalization of no working. Universalization of the thoughts. Universalization of the thoughts. Universalization of the rule. Universalization of the rule. Universalization of the law. Universalization of the law. The political party pursues the universalization of their way of thinking. The political party pursues the universalization of their way of thinking. Universalization. Universalization. Some rules are conducted. Some rules are being conducted universally. Some things are accepted universally. Some things are being conducted universally. The sun is shining to us universally. The sun is going around the sun universally. We are breathing universally. The sun is shining at us. The sun is shining universally. The sun is shining to us. The sun is shining at us universally. The sun is shining at us universally, 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 universally. Some things are being conducted universally. Some things are being conducted universally. The sun shines every day universally. The sun shines every day universally. The sun shines every day, no matter how bad the weather is. The sun shines every day universally, no matter how bad the weather is. No matter how bad the weather is. Universally, 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 universally. University, 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 university. Eating food every day is conducted universally. Eating food and drinking water are being conducted every day universally. Universally. Breathing the air, breathing the air, breathing the air, breathing the air is to be conducted every day, universally. Breathing in the air is being conducted every day, universally, universally, universally. We circulate in bad and good spirits universally. Our feelings will circulate in good and bad spirits universally. Universally. We circulate in both good and bad spirits universally. Universally. universally, 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 universally. I think the rock band is very famous universally. I think the comedian is loved by everyone universally. I'm sure the comedian will be loved by everyone universally. I'm sure the food is the best universally. I think the food is the best universally. The food must be the best universally. My initial salary at the company was about 200,000 yen. Initial salary is about 200,000 yen in Japan. Around 200,000 yen. Monthly salary, yes. Were you happy when you got the initial salary from the company? Were you happy when you got the first initial salary from the company? Were you happy when you got the initial salary from the company? Were you happy when you got the initial salary from the company? Were you happy when you got the initial salary from the company? Were you happy when you got the initial salary from the company? Were you happy when you got the initial salary from the company? Were you happy when you got the initial salary from the company? Initial. The initial thing that I do every day is to wash my face and brush my teeth. The initial thing I do every day is, after getting up, is to wash my face and brush my teeth. The initial things that I do every day in the morning after getting up is to wash my face and brush my teeth and go to toilet. I want you to take the initiative. I don't want to take the initiative. Who created the initiative? Who made the initiative? Who created the initiative for the purpose, for achieving the goals? I don't want to take the initiative. I don't want to take the initiative. I don't want to take the initiative. Do you want to take the initiative? There are a couple of students who want to take the initiative in the class. There are a couple of students who want to take the initiative in the class. There are 2 or 3 students who want to take the initiative in the class. Were you this kind of person who always wanted to take the initiative in the class? Were you this kind of person who always wanted to take the initiative in the class? No, I was not like the one. I was not like the one who always tried to take the initiative in the class. Initiative. 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 initiative, initiative, initiative. I don't want to take initiative. Some people want to take initiative. Some presidential candidate run for the election. Some diet members run for the election to become the prime minister. They want to take the initiative to change the country. Some diet members run for the prime minister to take the initiative to make the country better. And some diet members run for the prime minister to take the initiative by becoming the prime minister. I don't want to take initiative. 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 I don't want to 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 take initiative. There are a couple of students who want to take initiative in the class. After half-later part of the game, the team A started to take the initiative. The team A is starting to take the initiative. The team A is starting to take the initiative. From the latter half of the game, the team A started to take the initiative. From the latter half of the game, the team A started to take the initiative. From the latter half of the game, the team A started to take the initiative. I don't want to take initiative. Do you want to take the initiative? Were you the kind of person or student who wanted to take the initiative in the class? The diet member won the election and became the prime minister. Now he has the right to take the initiative of the country. The company is be taken initiative by the CEO now. The current associate president of the company wants to be the next CEO to take the initiative. The initiation ceremony is going to be held tomorrow. The initiation ceremony is going to be held tomorrow. The initiation ceremony will be held tomorrow. The initiation ceremony of the company with the new employees is going to be held tomorrow. Initiation. The initiation of the company dates back to about 50 years ago. The initiation of the company dates back to the 50 years ago. The initiation of the company dates back to the 50 years ago. The initiation of the company dates back to the 50 years ago. The initiation of the company dates back to the 50 years ago. Initiation, initiation, initiation ceremony, initiation ceremony, initiation ceremony. Initiation ceremony of the association was held today. Given the current situation, owing to the current situation, on account of the current situation, the initiation ceremony of the association was conducted on a smaller scale. The initiation time of my work is from 9 o'clock a.m. The initiation time of my work is at 9 a.m. Initiation, 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 initiation. I hope your business will be successful. I hope your business will be successful. I hope your business will be successful. I hope everyone will be successful. The opposite of success is the failure. By stacking up the failures, we will approach the success closer. By stacking up the failures, we will approach the success gradually. Thanks to the failures, we can approach the success closer. Thanks to the failures we make, we can get closer to the success. Thanks to the failures, we can get closer to the success. Without failures, we cannot approach success so closely. He successfully avoided making the mistake. He successfully stole the ball from the opponent. He successfully escaped hot summers by going to Iceland in summer. He successfully avoided making responsible for that. He successfully avoided taking responsibility for that. A pile of work, a pile of tasks were dealt with by him successfully. The problems were solved successfully by the superhero. Are you going to succeed your father? Are you going to succeed your father? Are you going to succeed your father? The karaoke party succeeded the wedding ceremony. I hope another natural disaster will not succeed the earthquake. I hope another natural disaster will not succeed the earthquake. Are you going to succeed your family business? Are you going to succeed your father as the craftsman of the pottery? Are you going to succeed your father as a craftsman of the pottery? Are you going to succeed your father as a craftsman of the pottery? Are you going to succeed your father as the craftsman of the pottery, porcelain, lacquerware? The karaoke party succeeded the wedding ceremony. The second party succeeded the first party. The second party succeeded the first event among the friends. I hope natural disaster will not succeed the earthquake. I hope another natural disaster will not succeed the earthquake. I hope another natural disaster will not succeed to the heavy rain. I hope another natural disaster will not succeed the heavy rain. We cannot know what will succeed the heavy rain. We cannot know what will succeed the heavy rain. We cannot know what will succeed the global warming. We cannot know what will succeed the global warming. We are experiencing unprecedented weather variation. I hope you will succeed in your business. Are you going to succeed your father as a craftsman of the pottery? I'm thinking about that. I might succeed my father as a craftsman, but I'm still thinking. Because there are some other things I want to do in my life. I will think it over, go it over, look it over, think well. I will concentrate well. I will contemplate it well. I will reflect on it well. I will reflect it on well. Many protecting cars were succeeding the car with the Prime Minister. Many guardian cars were succeeding the car with the President inside. Many super protectors were succeeding the Prime Minister. Many godmen succeeding the Prime Minister. The second party succeeded the wedding ceremony. The karaoke party succeeded the wedding ceremony among the friends. The third party succeeded the second party at the izakaya. The third party at the izakaya succeeded the second party. The third party succeeded the second party. The third party succeeded the second party. The third party succeeded the second party. The karaoke party succeeded the wedding ceremony, succeeded the second wedding ceremony. The second party succeeded the wedding ceremony. The concert at the hall succeeded the live in the live hall because she is very famous and busy in the schedule. The fourth shooting succeeded the live at the hall. The fourth shooting succeeded the live at the hall. The fourth shooting succeeded the live at the hall. The fourth shooting succeeded the live at the hall. The concert at the hall succeeded the fourth shooting. The concert at the hall succeeded the fourth shooting. The concert at the hall succeeded the fourth shooting. The concert at the hall succeeded the fourth shooting. The concert succeeded the fourth shooting. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the earthquake. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the natural earthquake. I hope any natural disaster will not happen, will not succeed the heavy rain. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the heavy rain. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the heavy rain. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the heavy rain. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the heavy rain. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the heavy rain. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the heavy rain. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the heavy rain. The second party succeeded the wedding ceremony. The second party succeeded the wedding ceremony. The dinner party succeeded the morning party. The dinner party succeeded the swimming in the beach. Fireworks display succeeded the event. Fireworks display succeeded the festival. Fireworks display succeeded the event. Fireworks display succeeded the event. Fireworks display succeeded the event. Succeeded the event. Fireworks display succeeded the event. Fireworks display succeeded the event. Fireworks display succeeded the event. 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 Fireworks display succeeded in the event. Succeeded the event. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the typhoon. I hope any natural disasters will not succeed the typhoon. I hope any natural disaster will not succeed the heavy rain. The second party succeeded the wedding ceremony. The second party succeeded the wedding ceremony. The fireworks display succeeded the event. The fireworks display succeeded the event. The movie succeeded the drama on TV. The movie succeeded the drama on TV. The movie succeeded the drama. The movie succeeded the drama. The movie succeeded the drama on TV. The movie succeeded the drama on TV. Many miracles succeeded my success. 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 Fireworks display succeeded the event. Fireworks display succeeded the event. The second party succeeded the wedding ceremony. The fireworks display succeeded the event. We set out for the Narita airport on the succeeding day. We set out for Narita airport on the succeeding day. I'd like to try something different in the succeeding year. I'd like to try something different in the succeeding year. Succeeding, 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 succeeding. I have to make a speech in front of the members on the succeeding class. At the succeeding class, I have to deliver a speech. I have to present what I have prepared on the succeeding class. I have to present what I have prepared during the summer vacation at the succeeding class. Succeeding, 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 succeeding. I'd like to go to the beach in the succeeding summer. In the next summer, I'd like to go to the beach in the succeeding summer. All of the beaches were closed due to the pandemic. We went out on the succeeding day. We set out for Haneda Airport on the following day, on the succeeding day, on the following day. We set out for the Haneda Airport on the succeeding day, on the succeeding day. We set out for the Haneda Airport on the succeeding day. I will choose the piece on the succeeding performance. I will choose the piece at the succeeding concert. I will choose the piece at the succeeding concert. Succeeding, succeeding, succeeding. Who do you think will be chosen as the succeeding president? Who do you think will be chosen, appointed as a succeeding president? Who do you think will be appointed as the succeeding president? Succeeding. Who do you think will be appointed as the succeeding president? Who do you think will be appointed as the succeeding president? Succeeding. Who do you think will be appointed, chosen, elected as the succeeding president? Succeeding, 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 succeeding. I'm thinking of the succession of my family's business. I'm thinking of the succession of my family's business. The succession of the tradition is very long. It dates back to the 13th century. The succession of the imperial family is so long. The succession of the imperial family is such a long succession. The succession of the rain for a week caused a flood in the region. The succession of the rain for a week caused the region to be flooded, caused the region to be flooded. The succession of the rain for a week caused the river overflow, caused the river to overflow. There is the succession problem in the family. There are succession problems out there in families. The family is discussing the succession of the saving. The succession of the witch. The succession of the local tradition. The succession of the culture. The succession of the culture. The succession of the technique of how to put the cypress bark on the rooftop. The succession of the technology, the succession of the technique to put the cypress bark on the rooftop of the house. The succession of the imperial family is such a long story. I'm thinking of the succession of my family's business. I'm thinking of the succession of the family's business. I'm thinking of the succession of the family's business. I'm thinking of the succession of the family's business. I'm thinking of the succession of the family's business. Succession. Succession. The succession of his home run took the fans by surprise. The succession of his home run took the fans by surprise. Took the fans by surprise. The succession of his home runs. The succession of his 2 home runs took the fans by surprise. Someone took hold of my hand. Someone took hold of my hands. I liked my friends taking hold of my clothes in the haunted house because for fear of the ghost suddenly surprising her. I liked her taking hold of my clothes for fear of the sudden big sound from the ghost in the haunted house. Succession issue will be dealt with in the diet session, in the ordinary diet session. The succession issue of the local tradition will be discussed at the ordinary diet session. Succession. The succession of his two home runs took the fans by surprise. Surprise to the fans. The succession of his two home runs surprised the fans. Succession. I hope the succession of miracles will happen. I hope the succession of the miracle will happen to everybody. Everyone. The succession of the family business has been over 100 years. The succession of the family business has been over 100 years. The current successor of the shop is the third. The current successor of the shop is the third. The current successor of the family business of the shop is the third. The current successor of the shop is the third. The current successor of the shop is the third. The current successor of the shop is the third. The current successor of the shop is the third. Successor. The number of successors who have the technique of the local tradition has been decreasing. The number of successors who inherit the tradition has been decreasing. The number of successors who have the abilities or skills or techniques or willingness to take over family business or try to obtain the techniques are decreasing. The number of successors who are willing to obtain the local traditional skills such as putting a cypress bark on the rooftop of the house has been decreasing. Successor. The government is trying to increase the number of successors who have the local traditional skills. The government is trying to increase the number of successors who have traditional skills, such as creating pottery, porcelain, and so on. His successive two home runs took the fans by surprise. His successive two home runs surprised the fans. He was late for school 3 consecutive days. He was late for the school 3 successive days. He was late for school 3 successive days. He was late for school 3 successive days. Successive days. He was late for school 3 successive days. He was late for school 3 successive days. 3 successive days. He was late for school 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 3 successive days. Successive, 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 consecutive, consecutive, successive, successive. A weak successive rainfall caused the river overflow. Caused the river overflow. A weak successive rainfall caused the river overflow, causing the area flooded. Successive, 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 successive. A weak successive rainfall caused the river to overflow, causing the area flooded. A weak successive rainfalls caused the river to overflow beyond the riverbank. Successive. The man went to the same restaurant and ordered the same menu on 365 successive days. 365 successive days. The man went to the same restaurant, and ordered the same menu on 665 successive days, consecutive days, successive days, successive, successive, successive. Some people set the money aside for a rainy day. Some people put aside money for a rainy day. Let's put the budget aside. Let's set the money aside for a rainy day, for the next company picnic, I've set aside some money. I've put aside some amount of money for a rainy day. I've set aside a day off on Sunday. I usually set up day off on Sunday. I usually set aside day off on Sunday. I usually put 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 aside a day off on Sunday. I usually set a day off aside for relaxation, for recovery from the stress of the company, I usually put my day off aside on Sunday to recover from the stresses. Do you also set aside day off on Sunday? Of course. Do you set aside day off from Sunday on Sunday? Do you put aside day off on Sunday? Some people set aside some amount of money for a rainy day. Some people put aside some amount of money for a rainy day. Some people set aside some amount of money for a rainy day. What are you setting down? What are you setting down? Were you this kind of person who set everything down, explained by the professor? Were you this kind of person who set down everything which was explained by the teacher or professor, associate professor? When I was a university student, he was an associate professor, but now he is a professor. He made his way to professor. He made his way to the professor. He made his way to the professor. What are you setting down? It's super tough to set down everything explained by the teacher because he writes so fast, and if I focus on the writing, I cannot understand the content of the explanation by him. So taking the balance is very important. Some students did not set down notebook at all, and they focused on the explanation by the teacher. And just before the examination, they were asking other classmates to lend them the notebooks to study. Were you this kind of person who set everything down explained by the professor or teacher or associate professor? It can be very, very, very tough to set down everything explained by the teacher because some teachers explain so fast and write the explanation on the board so fast. And if we focus on the writing, we cannot better understand the explanation by the professor. So taking the balance is very important. Some students never sit down on their notebooks, but just focusing on the listening to the teacher. And just before the examination, they asked other students to lend them the notebooks for the study. Even a minor mistake, even minor edge might set off the machine. Even such a small movement will set off the sensor light. Even small movement will set off the sensor light, so it's very sensitive. So I saw when a cat passed near the sensor light, the sensor light detected the movement of the cat and it lighted. The sensor light can detect even a small movement. The sensor light is very sensitive enough to detect small movement. So even if you move like a ninja, it will detect. To set off the machine, please push the button. To set off the machine, please push the red button. To set off the machine, please push the red button. To set off the machine, to set the machine off, please push the red button. To set up the machine, To set off the machine, set off. To set off the machine, please push the red button. The way to set off the car is very easy. Just push the button on the right side of the handle. The way to set off the machine is very easy. Just push the red button consecutively, successively, 5 seconds. The way to set off the machine is very easy. Push the red button 5 seconds consecutively, successively. To set off the machine, please push the red button for 5 seconds consecutively, continually. Set off A. Set off the machine. Do you know how to set off the machine? Do you know how to set off the machine? Do you know how to set the machine off? Do you know how to set off the machine? Do you know how to set off the machine? Would you mind helping me to set up the tent? Would you mind helping me to set up the tent? Would you mind helping me set up the tent? Sure, not at all. Would you mind helping me set up the tent? Would you mind helping me set up the tent? Not at all. Could you give me a hand? Could you extend me a hand? Helping hand? Would you mind giving me helping hand? Would you mind extending me a helping hand? Who set up the computer? Because I cannot use it anymore because the setting is totally different. Could you set it back to the normal position, normal setting? Could you take it back to the normal setting? Who set up the computer? The way of using computer is totally different from the previous settings. Could you take it back to the normal previous setting? Please return it to the normal previous setting. The airport was shut down due to the inclement weather. More and more shops and companies were obliged to be shut down due to the current situation. More and more companies are being obliged to be shut down. More and more companies are deciding to be shut down. More and more business decide to shut down its business. More and more companies have been deciding to shut down their businesses. More and more companies have been deciding to shut down their businesses. Many companies shut down their businesses so far. Many companies have shut down their businesses since the pandemic. Many shops, stores, companies have shut down their businesses after the pandemic. My favorite guest house shut down its business due to the pandemic, unfortunately, although I love the guest house a lot. The guest house I used to stay frequently, recently shut down its business. The guest house I used to stay frequently, recently shut down its business. The head of the factory decided to shut it down. The CEO decided to shut the factory down for a period of time, for a temporary time. The CEO of the company decided to shut the factories down for about a month. The CEO of the company has decided to shut the branch offices down for a while. The CEO of the company has decided to shut the foreign factories down for 2 or 3 days. The CEO of the company decided to shut the business down. Could you sum up the meeting? Could you sum the meeting up? Could you sum up the situation there? Could you sum up the situation there? The correspondent summed up the situation there. The correspondent summed the situation up in the region. The correspondent summed up the situation in the region, disaster-stricken area. The correspondent summed up the status in the disaster-stricken area. The meeting was summed up by the journalist. The meeting was summed up by the employee. The movie was summed up by the critic. The movie was summed up by the critic. To sum up, as the locals put it, we should avoid taking the road during the heavy rain. As the specialists put it, it's not time to buy the car. Could you sum up the figures? The employee summed up the meeting. I have to sum up the meeting. I have to sum up the story of the book. I have to sum up the story of the book. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you!